Arm's length, basically, and I'll read you the passage from, it's a few sentences, but you guys will be shocked what arm's length means to the government. Because I think in reality and in practically speaking, a lot of these things will have to be ferreted out in practice. In practice, I think they're going to be soft on this issue, but here's what I'll read it straight from Heifer. You can't list the property with or sell it to anyone that you are related to, or have a close personal or business relationship with. In legal language, it must be arm's length. You can't list the property with or sell it to anyone that you are related to or have a business relationship with. That's all your business.
Yeah.
Right? If you guys didn't get referrals from family members and friends, well, Okay, so that's what the government is being very careful with what they do because they want to overcorrect you guys. Okay? In reality, if your mom says, "Hey, I got to short sell my house," listen, I don't think the bank's going to object to you having your mom's listing. I just don't. Okay. So if that becomes an issue, I think CAR needs to be involved, okay, in that issue, and CAR needs to correct that, and they're lobbying with Sacramento. I just don't think, though, that that's going to be that onerous of an issue, okay? As long as you don't know of any shenanigans going on, okay? Now, here's the thing about when you sign on that short sale agreement that you understand the terms. Arm's length is in there. Okay? So if you know that your client is selling it to a family member who's going to lease it back to them, you can't represent to the bank that you don't know that. You can't. Okay? I would say the less you know about that, the better. Okay? If your client wants to tell you something, say, you know what, I'm not interested in what you're going to do. Okay? Just what I'm interested in is getting this thing through. Because once you know it, you have a duty to disclose it, right? And that's a problem. Okay, so the problem for you guys is this. I mean, some issues you have a duty to go out there and find. Okay, you have a duty to reasonably inspect the premises. You have to do it. You can't just turn a blind eye and say, "Oh, whatever the seller tells me is great." What if there's a big gaping hole in the front room? Well, that's a problem. You need to be aware of that, right? Because you have a duty. But in some areas of the law, the less you know, the better. Okay, if you have a reasonable duty to inspect, and you go in there and everything looks fine, and it looks great. It looks good. I can't see that big, the way up there, but it looks fine. You don't have to disclose anything. There's a roof leak up there. But if your client says, "Hey, I painted over that. Yeah, there's a little leak over there before, but it's taken care of." Guess what? Now you have a duty to disclose. So sometimes the less you know, the better, and sometimes you have a duty to actually find out. And that's where agents get in trouble. They don't know the difference between when they can hide their head in the sand and when they can have a duty to actually find out. So be careful with that. But if you do know that it's not an arm's length transaction, you cannot misrepresent to the bank that it is. Because if the bank finds out, your license is on the line. Okay?